You're probably gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna be making an old fashioned out of this today. Are you ready? I know I am. Let's go. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways. I'm Doc Martinez, and I've been blessed to be able to grab a bottle of the Still Austin Tanager 2025. Now, I have done a review on it, so if you've not seen that, I will leave a link for it right here. But I've been contemplating this for a little while now. Do I want to use some of this amazing juice to make an old fashioned? And my brain thought, if it's already, a great pour, it'd probably make a great old fashioned as well. So I'm going to move this to the side and we're going to kind of go into some of this bottle. Now, this old fashioned I'm making, I'm not just throwing anything together. I'm making sure I'm specifically making it for Still Austin Tanager. Now, how am I doing that? Well, I'm going to use the notes that was given by Still Austin itself. So on the webpage, this is what they have. On the nose, it's punchy and fragrant with notes of Mucuna honey, coconut, marzipan, black tea, herbes de Provence, cherries, and cream. On the palate, robust and complex with expressions of cherries, jalebi, butterscotch, roasted applewood, white pepper, red tea, candied grapefruit, fresh pecan, and peach candy. On the finish, dried mint leaves, marjoram, pink peppercorn, black cardamom, fresh bay leaf, sweet lemongrass, and soft leather. All that sounds super, super good. So I'm going to use those aroma and taste notes to make an old fashioned using this. All right, so we're going to make this directly in the glass. No wasting, no watering it down too much. We're going to enjoy this for what it is. Now, we always use the whiskey last. That'll be the last thing I use in there. We're going to start off with some bitters. Now, Tanager is a cigar blend, so I figured why not add a little bit of Tabasco to this, right? So I'm going to use some Tabasco bitters, and we're just going to do one dash. Whoops. One decent dash. So about 1.5 dashes on that one. Not too much coming. It's the first time I use it. I should have shaken that up or done a little bit more with it. Next, because they didn't mention cardamom, I'm going to add this. Now, I use this on a recent old fashioned, and it added some nice texture and flavor to it. So when they mention cardamom in there, and I don't get to use this one that much, I definitely want to use it. So just one good dash of that as well. So next, I'm going to be using this honey. Now, I'm sure you can see it. I'm a Disney person, so instead of calling it Manuka or Manuka, I called it Mucuna, like Hakuna Matata, instead of Manuka. So when I went out there to ask my wife where this was at, she laughed at me. Definitely leaving that in there from before. If you caught it, you caught it. If you didn't, you didn't. But yeah. So we're going to be using this because they mentioned that this is part of in their fragrances, what you smell. So you don't need a lot of this. It's pretty strong honey, according to my wife. So I'm just going to use a bar spoonful like that and just put that in there. A little bit drip on the side. Don't want to waste it. Very, very, very good honey. Ooh, now time for the big boy. Well, look at this brand new bottle. Yep. My first bottle is now completely gone, going into my backup. I always find it fun to try to take these plastics off. They never perforate where they need to. So I just usually use my knife and kind of just get where I need to get. There we go. And once you find it, just follow it all the way around. Now, if you do have a bottle, I suggest you do take that little paper off. The reason I'm saying that is because it does have Tanager number 2 on it. That way you know which one is number 2. And the other thing, I'll put a picture of that up. And the other thing is interesting is the egg on top. I'm going to show you a picture of that close up. There's one that's cracked now. So that's pretty fun. All right, let's listen to this bottle pop. Oh, beautiful, beautiful bottle pop. Now let's take it off. All right, so we're going to use 2 ounces of this. And we're going to pour that right in here. Now, a lot of times I do like to add that ice before I add the whiskey. But with that honey in here, I knew it was going to, if you add the ice, the honey will not dissolve very well. So you got to take the time to make this one, right? All right, now stir that up just a little bit and get that to dissolve. It's going to take a moment, and there's no problem with that. I'm not rushing this drink. I'm not trying to over stir it. I'm not trying to, some people say like bruise it. I don't know if you can bruise whiskey, can you? If you let me know in the comments below what you think. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. You can still see the honey coming off the spoon there a little bit, but I think that's the best we're going to get with this, but that's okay. That's okay. When you use nice thick honey like that, it's part of the sacrifice, right? All right. Now, I know you're not supposed to get ice with your own hand, but this is for me. So I'm going to grab this, and I kind of want to show you my ice. It's melted down a little bit, but it's a barrel. So I don't know. You can see it there. It's a barrel. It's melted down a little bit, so some of those lines are gone, but it was actually a really nice little barrel. I'm going to drop this in here slowly and carefully. Slide it on to the side there. Oops. There we go. And now we're just going to stir this up a little bit. Definitely don't want to over stir this. All right. Because I'm going to have this sit here for a while, I'm just going to kind of scoot this over for a second. I still have 2 more things. Now, my orange is not as fresh as I would like it, so it makes the skin or the rind a little bit thinner than I like. But as long as I cut it safely and carefully, I can still get a good section of that off. And you definitely want to express the oils over this, so just do that and kind of rub the inside of that glass and a little bit on the outside as well. We'll put that there to the side. And this one deserves some Luxardo cherries, so you can go with the OG cherries on this. So what I like to do is reach in there and grab them and poke it through like this, because if you try to dig them when they're in the glass, it's hard to get it to poke through and get them on your skewer here. And I used a new spoon for this because I didn't want to put that honey or contaminate this glass. And just put that right across that top there. And that way you can use that orange as part of the garnish. Just throw that right on top like that. So there you have it. My Stella Austin Taninger Old Fashioned. Ooh, can't wait to try this puppy. All right. Time to go in and finally taste this bad boy. Move this off to the side here. Cheers. Ooh. Highlights all the niceness that's in here. I like this one. I like this one. It makes it complex. It highlights what the features that the aromas, it highlights the flavors that they're mentioning. I'm gonna go in, take a bite of this cherry, and then taste it one more time. Now that cherry adds a sweetness to it. With that sweetness and then that tobacco notes and then all that darkness that comes out with this one just adds another layer of flavor. Honestly, yeah, I'm digging this one. At first I was thinking, first sip, mouth kind of acclimating. I was thinking, is there anything I would change? Second sip, a little bit better. Third one with the cherry, that balance of the cherry with it actually makes it just a little bit more complex, adding different texture, adding different flavors. Third one without that, it was almost perfect. It was almost a perfect old fashioned. I think if I were to change any one thing, I might add 1 dash of cherry bitters, kind of to bring that note out. If not a cherry, maybe an orange bitters, because they do mention orange in theirs. So maybe. But honestly, heck yeah. Stella Austin, Taninger. Hey, you guys are knocking it out of the park. So thank you for joining me on another journey down my old-fashioned rabbit hole. My Stella Austin old-fashioned rabbit hole. To our next journey, my friends. Cheers.